I didn't step back. I adjusted the ground beneath my feet. The room leaned forward and I stayed where it was heavier. Your words didn't push, they settled. I felt the urge to explain. Let it pass through me. I didn't step back. I held the line without drawing one. There was a pause, thin as breath on glass. I watched it form, didn't wipe it away. You waited for resistance, I gave you stillness. The moment learned my shape, not the other way around. I didn't raise my voice, it would have bent the truth. The silence worked because I let it. I stood inside the pressure, counting nothing. Every second asked me to move. I stayed exact. I didn't step back. I stayed alive. Not brave, not weak, just present. The floor remembered me long after you turned. I didn't step back, and something shifted anyway. This wasn't surrender, it was a placement. I let the weight choose me. I didn't step back, I became the measure. When it ended, nothing fell, only the space knew I had been there. I didn't step back. Didn't step back. You spoke, and I didn't close. Not in my hands, not in my face. I let the words arrive without building a defense. They landed uneven, I felt it. Still, I didn't interrupt. Your voice carried intent, mine carried space. I stayed open longer than comfort allows. Not to invite more, but to understand what was already said. I felt the reflex rise, then pass. Explaining would have shifted the moment, I didn't want that. You spoke, and something inside me leaned forward. Not eager, attentive. I notice how quickly openness becomes risk, how silence becomes visible when it's chosen. I didn't agree, I didn't resist. I stayed open and let that be enough. The air held us briefly unstable. You waited for reaction, I offered presence to change the weight of the room. Your words finished, but the space didn't. I remained where they left me. Open isn't soft. soft, it's exposed. I stood there anyway. I stood there, not to be understood, but to be exact. You spoke, I stayed open, and that was the whole decision. You spoke. You spoke. You spoke. You spoke. You spoke. You spoke. I noticed a pause before anyone else did. It arrived quietly, like it didn't want attention. The words stopped, but the moment didn't. I felt the space open and chose not to close it. The pause waited, patient and exact. I didn't rush it, I respected its way. Some silences asked to be filled, this one didn't. I let it sit between breaths, I didn't fill the pause, I let it stay. Not everything unfinished needs to be saved. Your eyes searched for continuation. I stayed still, let them search. The pause grew shape, not sound. It pressed lightly enough to matter. I could have spoken, that was the test. I felt language line up, ready. I let it dissolve. I didn't feel the pause, I stayed exact. The quiet said more than I ever could. Time slowed but didn't stop. The room adjusted around the gap. I felt exposed without saying anything. The pause learned my posture, not defensive, not yielding, just held. You shifted your weight, the pause noticed. I stayed where I was, I didn't feel the pause, I didn't feel the pause. I let it work, some moments need distance, not words. Silence didn't break us, it defined the edge. I saw what you expected, I declined it. The pause thickened, became intentional. I breathed through it carefully. Every second asked a question, I answered with stillness. I didn't feel the pause, I kept it clean. Nothing added, nothing removed. Eventually the moment moved on, not resolved, just past. The pause stayed with me longer than you did. I carried it without naming it. I didn't feel the pause, and that was the choice. Some spaces only exist if you protect them. Later I replayed it, not the words, the gap. I realized then that pause was the point. I didn't feel it because it was already full of what I refused to compromise. I didn't feel the pause, I let let it stand, and in that silence I stayed myself. I felt it arrive before it had a name. Something unfinished entered the space. I didn't move it, I didn't touch it. I let it sit between us. Your eyes noticed it, mine didn't flinch. The distance wasn't physical, it was precise. I could have closed it, I chose not to. I let it sit between us, not to punish, not to protect. Some things need room to show what they are. The air tightened slightly, not enough to hurt, just enough to be felt. You shifted in your seat, the space stayed. I watched the moment learn its way. I didn't explain the silence, I honored it. Sit between us, untouched, unaltered. If it mattered, it would speak on its own. Your hands moved, mine stayed still. The space noticed both. I wasn't waiting for resolution, I was watching for truth. I let it sit between us and it didn't collapse. Not everything placed needs removal. The tension didn't grow, it clarified. It separated intention from habit. I realized how often I rushed to fix. This time I didn't. I let it sit between us long enough to listen. Some distances explain more than words. The room adjusted around the space. It became part of the structure. I stood comfortably inside discomfort. I let it sit between us without defense. If it was gonna change, it had to do it honestly. You spoke again. The space didn't disappear, it learned where to stand. I stayed where I was, I let it sit between us and I didn't regret it. Some things only reveal themselves when left alone. Later, I remembered the moment, not as conflict, as clarity. The space had done its work, I let it sit between us and that was enough. Not everything unresolved is a mistake. I didn't carry it away, I didn't erase it. I left it where it formed, because what sits between people often tells the truth. I let it sit between us and in that still distance I stayed intact. said it wrong, and I noticed the error sat there clear and calm. I felt the urge rise then pass, correcting it would have changed us. I watched the moment choose its shape. The wrongness wasn't loud, it was precise. I held my breath, not my opinion. I didn't correct it, I let it stand. Some truths appear when mistakes remain. Your sentence leaned, almost asking. I stayed still, didn't answer. Not agreement, not surrender. Accuracy doesn't always need repair. I didn't correct it, I listened instead. What matters often hides behind what's wrong. The room adjusted around the error. It didn't break anything, it revealed posture. I saw how quickly fixing becomes control. I chose restraint. I didn't correct it. I measured the cost. Some clarifications erased the point. You continued confident. The mistake grew legs, walked forward. I followed quietly. I didn't correct it. I kept the line clean. Interruption would have blurred the moment. My mouth formed words, then released them. Silence kept us aligned. Settled into context. I didn't correct it, I let it teach. Errors sometimes show what precision can't. I noticed my hands, how steady they were. That surprised me. I wasn't angry, I was exact. I didn't correct it, I stayed aware. Not every misstep needs my voice. The conversation moved on, the error stayed behind. Not forgotten, documented. I didn't correct it, and nothing collapsed that mattered more than being right. Later, I replayed it, not the words, the choice. I didn't correct it. Didn't correct it. The conversation moved on, the error stayed behind. Not forgotten, documented. I didn't correct it, and nothing collapsed that mattered more than being right. Later I replayed it, not the words, the choice. I didn't correct it, because correction ends things. I wanted to see where it would go. The wrongness pointed to something true. I recognized it quietly. I didn't correct it, I respected the frame. Some moments need space, not polish. I felt the habit fade just a little. It felt earned. I didn't correct it, and I stayed intact. Control loosened, clarity stayed. The my restraint, so did I. I didn't correct it, and that was the decision. Accuracy can wait when honesty arrives. I left the moment as it was, not improved, not damaged. I didn't correct it, I chose precision of presence. I felt the pressure arrive and didn't tense. My body recognized it before my thoughts did. There was a moment to brace, I let it pass. I stayed where I was, unarmored, not exposed, available. I was held without resistance, not because I agreed, but because I refused to harden. The force wasn't violent that mattered, it relied on reflex. I denied it won. My shoulders stayed low, my jaw stayed loose. I was held without resistance, and the moment lost leverage. Some pressures need pushback, this one needed absence. I noticed how often I prepare for impact. This time I didn't. The weight searched for tension, found none. I was held without resistance, and something recalibrated. Strength doesn't always answer with force. Breath stayed steady, pulse stayed even. The situation waited for struggle, I didn't offer one. I was held without resistance, not passive, intentional. There's a difference the body understands. I felt the edge of fear, then clarity. Fear wants reaction, clarity wants placement. I chose placement. I was held without resistance, and the hold softened, not because it cared, but because it had nothing to work against. The moment learned my outline, adjusted, I stayed exact. I was held without resistance, and I didn't disappear. Yielding isn't vanishing when it's deliberate. The pressure stayed close but lighter, like it was listening now. I was held without resistance, and without the resistance, not everything ends. Some things repellent. I felt my instincts proclaim, I ignored them. Instincts protect, they don't always decide where. I was held without resistance, and I learned restraint can be active. Time passed quietly, nothing dramatic occurred. That was the success. I was held without resistance, and nothing broke, no ground lost, no ground taken. When it ended, it didn't retreat, it simply released. I was held without resistance, and the release felt earned, not granted. I stepped forward afterward, unchanged, that mattered. I was held without resistance, and I stayed intact. Sometimes the strongest response is not to respond at all. It didn't break, it marked. I felt the contact and stayed whole. The impact was quiet, deliberate. Nothing cracked, something recorded. It didn't break, it marked. I carried the line without falling. I checked for damage out of habit, found alignment instead. The moment passed through me without shattering. It didn't break, it marked. Not a wound, a reference. I noticed the change afterward. In posture, in pause, where I stood more carefully. It didn't break, it marked. I learned where to stand next time. The pressure wasn't cruel, it was exact. Like a ruler laid across skin. It didn't break, it marked. Measurement hurts less than impact. I didn't bleed, I adjusted. The body remembers before the mind does. It didn't break, it marked. The memory stayed clean. I tested my movement later. Everything worked differently. It didn't break, it marked. Function returned with awareness. I realize breaks are obvious. Marks are patient, they wait to be understood. It didn't break, it marked. Time revealed the outline. I traced it once without touching, just to know it was there. It didn't break, it marked. I stopped pretending nothing happened. The mark didn't define me, it informed me that distinction mattered. It didn't break, it marked. Information is not damage. I move forward with calibration, not caution, accuracy. It didn't break, it marked. I trusted the signal without fear. Others didn't see it, that was fine. Marks aren't for display. It didn't break, it marked. Private data counts too. I stopped testing limits, I tested placement. It didn't break, it marked. Strength learned where to rest. When the moment returned, it met resistance, not from force, from knowledge. It didn't break, and mark, and the mark guided me. I didn't think it, I acknowledged it. It didn't break, it marked, and I stayed intact with context. Nothing broke, that was the proof. The mark remained, that was the lesson. It didn't I walked away without framing it. No closing sentence, no summary. The moment expected clarification. I denied it, not to confuse, to preserve. I walked away unexplained, and the space held. Some exits lose meaning when explained. My steps stayed even, no rush. I didn't look back, not out of strength, out of accuracy. I walked away unexplained, nothing chased me. Silence followed instead. The need to justify rose, I let it pass. Explanation would have softened what needed edge. I walked away unexplained, and the decision stayed sharp. Words would have blurred it. I felt the pull of interpretation. I refused to manage it. I walked away unexplained, and I kept my center. Not every leaving owes comfort. Behind me, assumptions formed. That wasn't my work anymore. I walked away unexplained, and the weight shifted hands, ownership changed. I noticed how light my chest felt, not relief, alignment. I walked away unexplained, and my breath stayed steady, no performance required. The distance grew without drama, clean, intentional. I walked away unexplained, and the moment closed itself. That mattered. I didn't rehearse reasons, I trusted the action. I walked away unexplained, and I stayed honest. Silence protected the choice. Time passed, the absence spoke more clearly than I could. I walked away unexplained, and nothing followed me home. Later, I felt the urge to return, not to fix, to check. I didn't. Unexplained, and the line held, returning would have bent it. The path ahead felt narrower, that was focus. I walked away unexplained, and I accepted the cost. Clarity isn't free. Carried the moment without narration. I walked away unexplained, and that was the explanation. Some exits teach by remaining silent. I learned. I didn't lose myself doing it. I remember the moment clearly enough. Not the words, the stance, the place where I could have stepped in. I didn't. I stood exactly where I was, not frozen, decided. Where I didn't defend myself, I stayed aligned. Defense would have shifted what was true. The accusation didn't land, it hammered. Waiting for resistance, I gave none. Where I didn't defend myself, the moment revealed its weight. Pressure shows shape when it isn't pushed back. I felt the reflex rise, years of training. I let it pass without acting. Where I didn't defend myself, I learned restraint is not weakness. The room noticed, silence sharpened. I searched for reaction, found posture. Where I didn't defend myself, I stayed intact. Nothing was taken because nothing was offered. I didn't correct the story, I let it stand. Truth doesn't always need my voice. Where I didn't defend myself, clarity arrived on its own, not loud, accurate. I felt exposed and precise. Exposure passes, precision stays. Where I didn't defend myself, I kept my center, movement would have blurred it. The moment asked for friction, I declined. Where I didn't defend myself, the dawn into shifted, not in my favor, in my control. I noticed my breath, even my hands still. Where I didn't defend myself, nothing escalated, that was the result. Time moved forward without conclusion, I accepted that. Where I didn't defend myself, I stopped negotiating truth. Later I reviewed the moment, no regret, just confirmation. Where I didn't defend myself, I stayed accurate, not protected, aligned. Defense would have made about winning, I wasn't there for that. Where I didn't defend myself, the line held. I didn't lose ground, I chose placement. Where I didn't defend myself, I learned when to stand without explanation. The weight didn't leave it settled. Where I didn't defend myself, I carried it cleanly. Nothing collapsed, nothing resolved, that was enough. Where I didn't defend myself, I stayed